Hey, it's Andrew here from AS Movies and Games. Thank you for joining me. And, as human beings, we sometimes make mistakes and do things that don't make a lot of sense. And so I just wanted to give you a bit of an explanation as to what's going on with the website and what my intentions are looking forward. And the first thing that I wanted to talk about was just the fact that I switched over from movable type to WordPress, and this wasn't a decision that I took lightly. Some of the problems that I was experiencing with movable type includes comments, and I was getting a lot of comment spam, and even with plugins I couldn't really seem to manage it that well. And I think part of that is just movable type doesn't have great plugin support. It's not like WordPress where you can basically click a button and away you go, the plugin's installed, and it doesn't really take much effort and it doesn't really take much time. Movable type, on the other hand, you pretty much have to upload everything manually. Now I do realize, there's also things in WordPress that you have to upload manually, but sometimes the compatibility with plugins just wasn't there. There wasn't really great support for the plugins with movable type. So for example, one of the plugins that I was trying to install to kind of combat the comment spam but actually just still allow people to comment on the website was Discuss. And I couldn't get it working. For the life of me, I could not get it working on movable type. So basically, it comes down to a few things. One is theme support. There's really there aren't a lot of built-in themes with movable type that you can use, which is okay. I like customizing my website, coming up with my own designs, and that worked out pretty well for me. But it's still cooler to have options available. The second thing is plugin support, as I already mentioned. Third thing is lack of documentation. There's just a total lack of FAQs and guides, and as I already pointed out, there's really not a lot of support for plugins. So that's really just kind of one of the unfortunate things, even though I love movable type and I've used it for various sites of mine and it's worked out pretty decently for me. There's some just fundamental functionality that I couldn't get working the way I'd wanted to. Just simple things, contact forms, and like I said, getting the Discuss plugin working. So that was part of the reason I transitioned over to WordPress. Now the result has been a little bit surprising. Basically, one of the things I didn't realize when I moved everything over is that basically all of my content was erased. And I shouldn't say erased. Basically, I decided that I wanted to rework it or kind of retool it for the website because I was rebranding the website. But what that means is anybody that was linking to my website is now left in the dark. They don't know what happened. And it's not that the website has really changed in any way. I'm basically still talking about video games and movies. Basically, any of their links that linked back to my website now don't work. And I sort of took for granted the fact that I had anywhere from 20 to 30 visitors a day, which was actually starting to bring in a little bit of advertising cash, which is cool. I just kind of left that in the dust. And now I'm not getting the same number of visits, obviously, because I don't have the same amount of content that I had before. And I am working on that. I am rolling it out. And like I said, I wanted to retool the content. It just seemed right. It just seemed to make sense to me to kind of update it, especially as I go looking back at some of the old stuff I wrote. There's a lot of stuff that just needed a little more information, a little more commentary on things. So I think it makes sense for me to be rebranding it, but it's just with the understanding that it's not all coming out right away. I am taking some time to retool it. I do have the entire month of October planned out, so that's pretty great. And definitely follow me on Twitter if you want kind of up-to-date or more recent topics. Go to the blog if you want some of the more classic games, other movies. Not a lot of recent stuff there, but doesn't mean that I don't talk about recent stuff on the website either. I do from time to time. Facebook is one of those things I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with that for AS Movies and Games, but I'm sure you have some great ideas. So let me know in the comments. But the point of all this is basically, if you could go to my website now, it's arcticsunburn.com. Pause the video if you have to, and just bookmark it right now. That would be much appreciated, and because I guess most of my traffic from the website were from like a loyal base of followers. It was clearly a lot of search traffic, and in fact a lot of new visitors and unique visitors had been coming to my site. And then again, I just didn't realize this when I made the choice to rebrand the whole website. So go to the website, bookmark it. If you subscribe to RSS feeds, it's totally free to do that. So I'd appreciate you doing that as well. You can also join the mailing list if that's something you're interested in. We can grow this community together. I don't think there are going to be a lot of mailing list newsletters going out all the time. Maybe once a month, maybe once a quarter. So won't be spamming your inbox in any way. So just join the community. And the other thing, this is kind of funny, I spent about an hour and a half, 2 hours on Sunday trying to get my Xbox 360 controller to work with my PC. The reason this came about is because I was kind of scanning through the Steam store for games that I could play that were relatively affordable, even free, looking through those independent games because I always like to check them out as well. And I came across this game, I think it's Breath of Death 7. And that one really got me excited over all the other ones because it was kind of this classic Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior style RPG game. And I was like, I have to try this out. And it was $2.99. So even though I don't really spend a lot of money, I'm on a budget right now, I decided to check it out on Sunday. So I was playing with my keyboard and I was like, man, I should be able to play this with a controller. And I had a controller, like a Logitech controller for the PC. It didn't work. So that kind of got me thinking, the game was designed for Xbox 360 in a sense, for the controls on an Xbox 360 controller. So I thought, hey, I've got one upstairs. Why don't I go and grab it and get it working? And turns out you need a corded controller to get it working with your Windows PC. It does not work with a charger kit, a play and charge kit. I thought it would. I thought you could just plug it in through the USB port, away you go, install a few drivers. I spent an hour and a half, 2 hours installing all kinds of drivers. So if you happen to be running into the same situation, now you know. You can't do it with the play and charge kit. You actually have to get like a corded Xbox 360 controller. And so I'm just trying to help you save some time. Go to the description. Check out the links. You can go and get yourself a proper Xbox 360 controller that will work with your Windows PC. And that's about it for now. Again, please join the community. And if you like what I've been doing on the YouTube channel, if you like all the videos that I've been putting together, definitely please subscribe. Thanks.